So this is the fun one. I actually really have a lot of fun with this. People ask me, I told you the story about me becoming a metal building supplier and a contractor. So I tell people all the time, listen, I could come into your industry and just straight dominate you. Okay, and they go, well, how can you say that? How's that possible? It's very easy. I mean, most of the people, their education stops once they graduate from high school, college, master's, PhD. Their education shuts down. So once they get their job, their comfy little job, they stop learning. And that's for the majority of people. We're talking about 90+% of you guys out there. Your education, you shut it down, you stop learning, you stop reading, and you get into your lifestyle, you get into the regular world with your wife, your kids, your husband, family, things of that nature. You get your illness and sickness, and so you stop educating yourself. So I know for a fact that I could go into whatever industry you're in. And I gave this example to a young kid the other day that told me he wanted to fix airplane engines. And he said he was going to school to learn how to fix airplane engines. And I said to him, okay, that's fine and dandy, but he's working a job right now making $8 an hour. And I said to him, listen, why don't you do this? All right, his name is Christian. I'm going to go ahead and use his name. Christian. I said, Christian, why don't you pick up the 5 books on the subject of airplane engines? And in fact, why don't you pick up some research papers and learn what are the actual main reasons why they're breaking down, they're failing at early times, and why the system components are not working. And study that literature, okay, and then take that experience and that knowledge, and when you go to apply for a job with an actual, as the particular job that you want to get into, fixing the components, when you go to your application and you go for the interview, you let them know that you are aware that these are the 5 top reasons why these components break down. And this is how you fix them. And in fact, if you become the most read person, okay, the subject matter expert on that particular arena, they will hire you right away. You'll be the highest paid person. And instead of actually fixing it with your bare hands, you'll be the one giving the instructions to the actual technicians on how to solve problems and fix it. And so I told him, listen, just grab 8 to 10 books on the topic, read everything you can on how the engines work, how the components work, how they come together, learn about the defects and the defaults and the mistakes that people are making in terms of assembling them and in terms of how they work in conjunction with other third-party components. And once you grasp that information, you will be the most powerful person at that company. And you'll be an invaluable resource, and you'll be able to command your salary. So if you want to know how I could become the industry expert in any arena, it's by reading and educating myself. And that applies to any industry across the board. I mean, if we're talking about the people who went to school for learning coding, okay, that coding system that they're using is out of date. Okay, so if they're using the same coding system, the same type of software that they use, that they learned from out of college, and they graduated 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, it doesn't exist anymore. It's extinct. And that's the same thing for all the millennials coming out. I mean, today we're using Snapchat and Instagram, but what we're going to be using in the future, we're going to be using AI and artificial intelligence. So again, everyone seems to get into the situation where they're comfortable and they relax and they stop educating themselves. And then what happens? Somebody like me comes along and takes advantage of that particular situation. I see the little hole and I climb right through it. All right. So if you want to learn how to be the best at your industry and dominate it, read all the latest literature, the white papers, get the news reports, and start digesting everything so that you can understand and bring tremendous value to that customer.